Hello everybody, Duality here with a 3v3 analysis this time, and this is with Neurotic Rant, named Cookie Monster in this match, but Neurotic Rant similar to my most recent 2v2 analysis. So let's go ahead and get this started here. Go over anything I see wrong, point out the right things as well, and try to suggest some different angles of approach and break down some plays to provide some different ways to attack certain situations. So here, this is a good one to talk about dodging. So he's going up here. He's able to reach this ball before any of the opponents here. And the idea is there's one in net, so he kind of just has to bait Oz out there and have a teammate up there to finish a pass or maybe follow it up off the bounce. But in this instance, he dodges with it. And you can see now over here, he's pretty far in front of where the ball is going to go. You see it go out pretty far, and so unless he's able to turn sharp enough, which he isn't, especially not with speed to match the ball at the right time and location, he's going to miss that. And if he didn't jump, he would have been able to retain control of his car and keep playing the ball around. So it's very important to work on limiting how many times you're dodging when you don't need to. Even in that instance, he didn't need to dodge forward, and it kind of just ended up knocking the ball back, and there's nothing he could do from there to help his team. So here he's waiting back, which is marked. His other two teammates are up, so he doesn't want to throw himself out here. He goes up, but his teammate is there, so that's pretty risky. He should have seen his teammate and just let him make the play. It's always risky to throw yourself up as the last man back in any game mode, but with threes you have three defenders who can take any sort of clear out, so you need to be careful of just giving away your defensive position down the pitch. So he's watching this, and he kind of drives back here. His other teammate is up to keep attacking, so they're not punished. He's following this up, and he's able to get a nice pop off of it. And he waits a little bit too long there, so it ends up going backwards. A smarter thing to do in a situation like this, so he sees it up, and now the ball's pretty high in the air. There's at least one defender in net kind of watching it, and at this level I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be going up for it anytime soon. And it's basically impossible to create any sort of real scoring opportunity, at least a smart, consistent one. So instead of kind of just following it like this along the ground, it would be smarter to just ride up the wall and just give the ball the slightest tap out, and that would have knocked it past Oz there, the defender, and created a better situation. But kind of waiting and jumping up won't ever provide any real positive solution to producing a play. He's watching this, his teammate's rotating back, so he's going to challenge, which is nice. Here he should be watching that. His teammate's up and going back, so luckily his teammate knows that he's up and they aren't punished. And this instance, and I see this a lot, this is kind of the classic, okay, so he's here, he knows that he doesn't have much boost, so, the thought is, I gotta go back to my side of the pitch, I gotta pick up some boost, and then we can go forward, and maybe King Rat. His other teammate there could go up, but even here, kind of back this up just a little bit. But he's the only one on the other side, and with threes it's important to be in the correct position to create scoring opportunities over your defenders. You're against three different people, so knocking it at the net is just going to be blocked out more often than not. So in this instance, he kind of just wants to wait up the pitch here and wait for a high clear up to him, and because he has two other people back there. So if he's going up backfield like this, now that ball is going to go closer to Dorel right there, so possession is just given right back to the opponent. So, but it can be risky at times to stay up there, and this will come more naturally with better prediction and more trust and confidence in your teammates to keep the ball going and stop it from going in your net. So here he's going up again when he really didn't need to. Maybe just a subconscious reaction, just want to jump up in the air. But another time, we're just include the ball in your path of driving and play it from there. And he could have put a challenge on that, so it isn't the worst thing in the world with a teammate back, but again, nothing too much happen there. So his teammate misses, so kind of just panics and makes sure that he hits it, but doesn't get punished too much because he does have a teammate back. But it's important to, think of where your teammates are, and think of yourself as just part of a play that's either saving the ball or getting it into the opponent's net. Not so much about just pushing this ball forward, but just keeping it going with your team. Just keeping control of the ball and making sure that any sort of shot that you're taking away from your possession is going to result in a more often than not positive scoring opportunity. So here he's going up to challenge. I believe he ran out of boost. Maybe he didn't know he didn't have enough, something like that. So here he's going back, letting his teammates circle around. Isn't the worst thing. Here he's above nets, kind of just falls down, which is risky, but his teammate's able to clear that out. And here he just starts backing up, and there's no real good outcome from this. He's putting a little bit of pressure on Banana there. Banana sees him there and doesn't want to drive into him. Probably going to try to pop it over. And so he's where he can touch this, but just ends up getting bumped. And again, there's nothing that he can really do with that from there. So he should be just getting away from his teammates. Just like twos, you want to be where your teammates are not. Because that's how you're just going to keep the ball going, or else you're just going to constantly just give possession away. So his teammate's able to drive it in there. He's just watching that. Here he's going up, and dodging there was also not necessary. If you just drive forward and let yourself drive into the ball there, it's going to give it more height than you could get any other way when the ball is rolling straight on the ground. So he's dodging into it, and it kind of just threw it at the net instead of getting a really high pass to bait them out. Here, his teammate's kind of with him. That's more of his teammate's mishap than him. But here he should just be kind of driving back, making sure nothing can be taken towards his net. And here he's in a sticky situation. If the opponent had a stronger clear, that would have been over him, and there's nothing he could have done. So it's important, in that part of the play, he would just be the person that's designated to stop the ball from going into his net. So being too far away from your net in upfield creates a large area where there's nothing that anyone can do once it hits. So that's something to think about. That's more so a mechanical mishap of not getting up quick enough to the ball there. Here he goes at it. His teammate should have won at that, but I'm not sure what his teammate was doing. Maybe he told him or something like that. But they were punished because I believe his teammate just didn't get up quick enough for that. So we can kind of break this down and try to see why they really lost. Okay, so his other teammate's in net here, and he's pushing up. So King up here should be cycling back, and he should be going up the challenge. And one problem here is King is facing the opposite way that he should be. He should be driving straight back to net. And that would allow his teammates to be able to push on this with more confidence. But King is basically just throwing himself out of the play there. And a single jump won't be enough for that, and the shot's too fast for his teammate there to block out. So, again, team awareness is sort of an issue here, but there were a lot of misplays from his teammates as well with regards to that. And this, which tends to be the case in most of not so much lower tier games like this, but slower paced games, without a lot of confidence in team play, he's just going up for the ball too quickly, not thinking of how he's going to create a pass or a shot, but more so just trying to make sure that he just hits the ball. But there's no real end goal with that, so it's just always being tossed into the enemy's possession there. With threes here, his teammates, as I said, weren't in good positions to handle a lot of things, but that's where you just always need to be able to adjust and make sure that you're in the best position to keep playing with your teammates. Which, as I said before, you need to focus on just being where they're not. Like the instance where he was upfield and went back. If he stayed upfield, he could have created a very good scoring opportunity just because it would be largely unexpected. The opposing team is going to see a ball traveling up thinking they can clear that, and more often than not will not see Rant going up for a redirect or just a pass down, something like that. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know, and feel free to send me any replays you'd like me to analyze. Thanks.